Welcome back, my friends, and if you didn't figure it out from the thumbnail, I'll say it now, this is a different type of video than what I normally do. This is not going to be a build video. I just have game footage on because, well, yeah, it's more interesting to watch than a blank screen or a little circle that blinks when I talk. So I did a live on Saturday. I kept seeing the same comments from people, and a lot of these were things I was already thinking and had expressed in responses to other people. First, let me start by saying I have been playing TFT since alpha, since day one, alpha set 1. Each set brings changes, some good, some not so good. It's the nature of a game that reinvents itself every few months. It's just reality. And if you were ever on the previous channel, you may have seen some of the videos I made from set 2, set 3, etc. Almost all the early videos are deleted because they just weren't very good. It really wasn't until set 5 and hyperroll came out that I found a format I really liked working in because I could take a game and shove it down to about 10 to 11 minutes and really capture the entire thing. I also liked playing hyperroll better for a variety of reasons, from it being quicker to there not being carousels to so many things I've talked about before. As we all know, the PBE rollout for set 9 was not good, to say the least, and that's because they had a ton of people trying to get into it and the PBE just wasn't set up for it, so hyperroll wasn't available and we couldn't see what it looked like. Now we see it, and it is filled with either problems, bugs, things that are intentional, we don't know. For example, you cannot roll the augments. Notice it's all grayed out at the bottom. One part of me says it's got to be a bug. Why put the icons in there if you're not going to have it? Other people have said, nope, that's intentional, and it's part of the reason why they don't have legends in hyperroll, which is something I also find kind of silly. I understand that there are several of the legends that wouldn't work in hyperroll because they had to do with XP and or things that just would not fit into hyperroll, but there are several that easily could have been adopted over and left people with the choice of 4 or 5 legends to play in hyperroll so that they still have that experience. Why we can't reroll augments, I have no clue. Bug, not bug, I don't know. Obviously, we have less portals, but that's because a lot of the portals also had to do with XP or things that only applied to rank, so those are taken out. And while I understand they wouldn't make extra special portals just for hyperroll, I do not understand why they couldn't add the legends that would have fit and why they would take out rerolls if that is indeed intended and not a bug, as has been suggested to me many times. If you're a regular player of hyperroll, you might have noticed that queue times appear to be longer than normal. That means less people are playing. And I can't say I blame them, it's missing whole section of what this set was supposed to be about, the legends and the rerolls per augment. If this is intentional, I feel that Riot is doing hyperroll dirty. I know it sounds conspiratorial, but it almost feels like they left these things out on purpose to drive down engagement so that they can justify making the changes they've been talking about making that some people who play hyperroll have been resisting. So let me jump off the conspiracy train and get down to it. What does it mean for the channel? I'm not going to be doing lives anymore this season. Unless it turns out that this is all a bug, and a week or two from now they suddenly add in augment rerolls and legends for hyperroll, and it becomes kind of the same old hyperroll, and then I'll enjoy streaming it again. For videos, I'm still going to make content, just not as many as before. I was doing every day through most of the last couple of sets. Not going to do that, probably 2-3 a week as I find new builds. As I find something that I think people will find interesting, I'll put it together and put it out there. Last thing before I sign off, if you feel the same way, hit Riot up. Submit a ticket, contact them through the Bird app or on Reddit. They actually read all of that stuff, and if enough people say something, they could change policy. They could just say, hey, this is a bug, and actually tell us what's going on. And with that said, there will be more videos this season. Don't worry, I'll do compilations and stuff. And much like hyperroll this season, this match didn't turn out as intended, but it was still GG for everyone. As always, I hope you have an absolutely awesome day.